Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to have our first speakers, and I would like to request one of our favorite lecturers from Faculty of Economics, and he just returned from finishing his doctorate in Accounting and Corporate Governance at Macquarie University, Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome our moderator, Mr. Sandi Arif, PhD.
Thank you so much, Ms. Intan, for your kind introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon from Semarang, Indonesia. The Honorable Vice Rector for Planning and Partnership, Dr. Hendy Pratama, MA. The Honorable Head of Research and Community Service Center of Universitas Negeri Semarang, Dr. Suwito Eko Pramono. The Honorable invited speakers, the distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UNNES Research Networking Forum 2021. My name is Sandi Arif. I will be serving as your moderator for today's event, and then this is very incredible forum for us as academics. It is good to be here and have the opportunity to discuss about research collaboration in this international forum like this one, because it is a topic that is becoming increasingly more important, specifically in higher education. So when we talk about the research collaboration, basically collaboration is the cornerstone of nowadays research. Successful collaborative research and high research quality go hand in hand. Collaborative research needs to build on common and upfront expectation for the quality of its outputs. This is necessary to enable trustful research environment where all are committed to contribute and can share the rewards. However, what is the best practice for collaborating on research, and how to do research collaboration effectively, nationally or internationally? So to discuss this topic, we have a Dr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi from Nottingham University, UK. Before starting, I'm going to give you information about the housekeeping notes. Today's event is being recorded for viewing after post-forum at UNNES YouTube channel. And then if you have any questions, opinion, or suggestion, so please you can use the chat feature in the Zoom or in our YouTube channel. And then I will do my best to address them and then to give it to our respected speaker. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read Pak Bagus or Dr. Bagus curriculum vitae. Here we go. Dr. Bagus has been an assistant professor of chemical and environmental engineering at the University of Nottingham and adjunct professor, assistant professor at Virginia Tech, United States. He is the director of Indonesia Doctoral Training Partnership and the coordinator of the UK-Indonesia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Sciences, or UK-ICIS. Dr. Bagus received a PhD in Applied Mechanics from National Taiwan University in 2012, and then recently in 2021, he is the recipient of the University of Nottingham Vice Chancellor's Medal in 2021. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Bagus Mulyadi. Okay, Dr. Bagus, good afternoon from Semarang. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. I'm joining from
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. So how's Glasgow anyway?
Glasgow is very chilly, it's very cold. I'm from Indonesia, so anywhere below 25 degrees is too freezing for me.
Oh, that's right. So are you in the business trip or probably, having a recreation or something picnic with your family there?
I'm with Nottingham University delegation here, led by the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, apologies, and then we met with Indonesian delegations. Yesterday we spent the whole day with Governor Ridwan Kamil, talking about issues important for Indonesia.
Sounds very interesting, Dr. Bagus. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to give you the time and place for you to do a talk or maybe presentation related to the research collaboration. Over to you, Dr. Bagus.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and utmost congratulations for UNNES for hosting such a prestigious event. Very well attended. There are 560 and counting participants today. I'm also happy to be joined by other distinguished speakers from Taiwan. 大家好, I studied in Taiwan for about 5 years where I finished my master and PhD. I'm now teaching in the UK in chemical and environmental engineering. I have never been a chemical and environmental engineering student. I studied in Indonesia, in Bandung, for about 5 years, studying mechanical engineering in Institute Technology Bandung. And then I went to Taiwan to study at National Taiwan University for about another 5 years for my master and PhD in physics. Then I went to France first to work in mathematics department as a researcher, and then to Imperial College as a scientist in earth science. Now I'm in chemical engineering. I mean, one of the reasons why I tell you this abridged life story of mine is to signify the importance of interdisciplinary research collaborations. It is such a thing that is very much appreciated in pretty much in Anglo-American world, but less appreciated in Asia or in Indonesia. Such a background would not allow me to get job easily in Indonesia because of my interdisciplinary nature. So that motivated me to join this event because the event's title is about, or theme is about promoting scientific collaborations and moreover, global scientific collaborations. So let me give you a little bit idea about what's going on in the UK. There are about 30 to 35 professors like myself scattered throughout the UK higher education institutions at the moment. And then we've been wondering what would our roles be to promote Indonesian interests in the world stage. Indonesia, as you know, is widely discussed in COP26, where I'm at the center of the conference right now in Glasgow. The world's talking a lot about sustainability. There was a time when higher education institutions didn't talk about sustainability a lot. There was a time when they were talking about technological growth, innovation. Now the whole conversation about everybody in the world is about sustainability. There is a pertinent, pressing issue that affects everybody in the world. Now, what makes me partly proud and partly discouraged, because it's a two-pronged attitude that I have about sustainability, is because as Indonesian, I know perfectly well that the country has the potential not only to participate in events like this, but to lead. But the thing is, it's not just leading insofar as Indonesia has the raw minerals for battery, or Indonesia has raw sources of geothermal energy, or Indonesia have nice culinary, or Indonesia has nice culture. But we want to be seen as the country where new technologies emerge. We want to be seen as a country where new food and new medicine emerge. The world has been very suffering through many moons of pandemic, right? And then anything that has anything to do with trying to find out the next generation medicine or preventing the next pandemic from taking place is of utmost importance. All research funding would be allocated to prevent such scenario from happening again. Now, we are the country of the largest biodiversity in the world. If any country should come up with the next medicine, it should be us. Like the other subject that I talked to you about, to unlock those potentials is no small feat. You have to utilize science and technology. The most important part about this that I want to share today is that it needs to be a global partnership and it needs to be interdisciplinary collaboration. And then I'm going to share to you some of the things, some of the concrete things that me and my colleagues, mostly my colleagues, fellow academics in the UK from Indonesia have done in the last couple of months. So I have a presentation to share with you, if I may.
Yes, please, Dr. Padus.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk to you about the story of UK-Indonesia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Sciences, and I do hope that somewhat in the future, UNNES probably could join. We have a student from UNNES, one of your lecturers, Pak Rudatin Windraswara. I think, I don't know if you know.
Yes, I think he's from Health Science, if not mistaken, department. Yeah, Pak Rusdatin.
He's in chemical engineering at the moment. So, well, if he is indeed from health science, that would be quite a step forward. That's the kind of interdisciplinary study that I like. But yeah, so there's Pak Rudatin, and I think he's not the only one. There are several UNNES lecturers now doing PhD at Nottingham. He's not under my supervision, but under my colleague's supervision, just right next door. So Indonesian, like I said before, are not typically known as academics abroad. So there are just a few of us, but 30, 35, that's just very little in numbers. These are academics that has permanent positions in the UK. Unlike in the US, assistant professor in the UK are permanent, so they're tenured position. I cannot be fired. Well, if I steal something, I will be fired, of course. But I mean, insofar as my contract goes, it's a permanent contract. So being a lecturer in the UK is quite very difficult to do because it can be seen as a lifetime investment from universities. I'm not telling you this to brag. What I'm saying is our number is very small compared to other countries. If you talk about even Taiwan or China or India or Iran or other countries, there are just so many diaspora from these countries that become prominent academics elsewhere. Not us. I always give an anecdote. There's a lot more Iranian professors just in my department compared to Indonesian academics throughout the UK. So, I mean, the question is, I guess, why? But among the few that has been growing their influences in the UK, some have come to consideration of joining forces. So like myself, the Dr. Irwanda Lauri from Warwick University, Professor Beni Cahyono from Coventry University, we thought about joining forces, asking our universities to do the same, to pledge resources and to collaborate with Indonesian universities like ITB, Bandung, IPB, Bogor, Gajah Mada in Yogyakarta, and Universitas Indonesia. So the idea is that we would like to make a free movement zone for thoughts where staff and students can enjoy international environment, international learning and studying environment and research environment, so that as if there were no borders among us. We dream about one day lecturers from UNNES can teach in Nottingham or in Warwick or in Imperial or in Oxford or Cambridge, and vice versa. And students from the UK can come to Indonesia to study, and not just studying culture or culinary, but truly studying science in Indonesia. You know, that's a dream. That's a dream that can be catalyzed if you break down the barriers for study. And I think students truly have the rights to enjoy international studying experience. And that's why we aim to open our classrooms to stream it to Indonesian public, even using social media. Sometimes in my social media, I also try to teach as good as I can, just try to give a glimpse about what it seems or what it looks like in UK best universities classroom. University of Nottingham, like Warwick and other universities, are Russell Group universities. These are select 20 to 23 universities that occupy 2/3 of the research funding. So, and we don't want to just involve big universities. We want to involve also growing universities. Indonesia has 4,000 something universities, and this is just like a perplexing number because in the UK we have about 100 universities, and then in China, although China has 5 times the amount of population compared to Indonesia, has only about 2,000 universities. Now, think about that for a second. So, our problem has never been the lack of universities. Our problem has been, albeit that vast amount of universities, the quality between one university and another is very different, very large in disparity. So you got ITB and the gang, I call it. And then you got some universities in outside Java Island that really has not even experienced true research environment. Now, the problem is this disconnection between your classroom, research, and innovation. That's the missing link there, because if you don't have research culture in your university, if your lecturers don't do research, your curriculum won't be updated to the state of the art research. And if your lecturers don't do research extensively, there would be no innovation coming from the universities, right? Because research breed innovations. So that's the problem. And the Indonesian, I'm not going to just give you a good example from the UK and then say Indonesia needs to follow the UK. I never once in any of my public lectures say anything of that sort, because I think Indonesia needs to find its own answer. And I think the answer needs to come from a bottom-up perspective, Now, because of the advance of technology, UNNES could just directly work with Nottingham straight away. If you want my lecture to be streamed to your university somehow, although I have to ask for permission first, that's possible. Yeah, just open Zoom. You will be exactly as if you're in the same room with British students. So there's no more reason just to wait for top-down actions. We could move right now. Now, going back to UKCHIS. Now, we are the only consortium Indonesia have ever had at this scale. Yeah, what I meant is that not just individual research organization or paguyuban. So this isn't like that. This is university consortium. This is where vice chancellors or rectors come about and pledge resources. Now, there are just 7 universities at the moment, but among a few, we start to be able to raise this issue as paramount important for Indonesia's next foreign diplomacy. Indonesia needs to hone its science diplomacy muscle, yeah, because if I talk to British Foreign Ministry, and I did a couple of months ago, I was encountered with Professor Carol Mundell, for example, which you can Google the name of. And then she is the chief scientific advisor for Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the UK. So if foreign ministry in the UK go about having discussion with other countries, you've got a chief scientific officer there talking about issues like sustainability, climate change, carbon capture and storage, electric vehicles, and others. But we don't have that sort of thing, And no wonder Indonesia is not yet known for its technology. We do have that in the form of Indonesian diaspora everywhere. In fact, in Taiwan, there are so many Indonesian academics in Taiwan now starting to get position. So these are mini diplomats that could advance Indonesian interests globally. So I would encourage UNNES academics and students to aim at becoming academics elsewhere in the world and then use their resources somewhat down the line throughout their academic career to use their position to breed collaboration with Indonesian home institutions. so that through you, there will be transfer for knowledge exchange. That's the key. That's the key of transforming Indonesia's resource-based economy onto knowledge-based economy. There are three things that you have to think about in order to make that transition taking place. One is the strengthening of Indonesian higher education institutions, because that's where knowledge is born. Another one is to empower and upskill Indonesian human resources, because that's where knowledge is carried from one point to another. It's through humans' head and brain. And then another thing is to catalyze knowledge exchange. And this is what university can do, catalyzing knowledge exchange. Now, early in before 2020, every UK universities do their own engagement with Indonesia. I'm just only able to talk about this on behalf of the University of Nottingham. So we had ceremony signing between our university and IPB. We promoted teachers and students coming to give lectures in Indonesian islands in Belitung. We try to make Indonesian language class in the UK. We try to co-fund PhD students with Ministry of Research, Technology and Higher Education. And through that collaboration, Mas Rudatin from UNNES is now studying in the UK. So through this promotion that was initiated by Professor Ali Gufron, at the time was Director General of Resources, now the head of BPJS, such opportunity can take place. So we give trainings and others and providing input to the government. But then, sometime down the line, we thought about joining forces with Warwick, Coventry, and soon to be joined by Portsmouth and other universities. Now, we want to tackle issues like resilience. These are very highly interdisciplinary research that doesn't call for just mechanical engineers to contribute, doesn't just call for medicine students and lecturers to contribute. Now think about tackling energy problem. Now, I talked in the beginning about geothermal energy, where Indonesia has nearly 50% of the world's geothermal resources. But if you want to find out where heat can possibly be found, you need geologists to do so. If you want to extract them out of the subsurface, you need to bank, and the bank would immediately ask you, when will I get my money back? And in order to answer such question, you need to model it. Now, when the working fluid comes underground, it will react, and chemists are very trained to quantify that reaction processes. But then you have to model it, and to model it, you need mathematician and you need computer scientists, and then you have to sell it. You need people from management and business, circular economy, and then you have to convince the people to have geothermal sites be built on their backyards. And then so you need social scientists to include women, marginalized society. These are highly interdisciplinary pursuit just for tackling issue of geothermal. Now imagine tackling issues like sustainable transportation. So you have to truly work collaboratively in interdisciplinary fashion, and that's what the UK ICIS is all about. I got a little video here, but I don't want to play it because it takes too long. So when we established the UK ICIS, ministers Bambang Brojonegoro at the time inaugurated our consortium along with embassies from both countries, so the ambassador from both countries, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education in the UK. So UKCIS doesn't just belong to Indonesia, it also belongs to the UK. It's just initiated by Indonesian diaspora and has Indonesian interests at heart. But this truly is the testament to bilateral relationship between two countries. Now, hopefully, this is what UKCIS is going to do and can bear fruit in the future.
Your Excellency, Minister Ban.
Sorry, well, that's the video I'm talking about. Universitas Indonesia then joined down the line somewhere in March, April this year. Now, we talk about what actual things that we do, science, global health security. Of course, everybody talk about this because of the pandemic. Now, what the UK ICIS can do is to draw resources from UK's institutions, but also government, to share best practices about how one country can handle pandemic. So it's truly not just a problem of scientific inquiry. It's a problem of evidence-based policy. It's the problem of how fast your businesses can adapt to these disruptions. So countries can come together to have discussions. Their scientists, their policymakers, their industry practitioners, they can come together, facilitated by the UK ICIS. In the UK, the currency for research is impact. And this is what I meant. If you're a university in the UK, the endowment money that determines how much money you get every year can be assessed by three means. One is research excellence framework, second, knowledge exchange framework, and three, teaching excellence framework. The teaching excellence framework is the quality of your education. So that particularly determined by how satisfied your students of your service. Now, research excellence framework determines how powerful your research is in transforming human life. Now, Indonesia is so hell-bent over metrics like citations, like numbers of papers. It pays very little interest to genuine impact. So when I talk to Indonesian colleagues, they all talk about age index. And in order to get professor status in Indonesia, you need to get a lot of citations and etc. And don't get me wrong, these are good endeavors. This just tells you how impactful your research in your community. But that's not the whole story. In the UK, we focus more about whether you can cure AIDS because of your research, whether you could grow the economy, whether you can clean the environment. And the case studies emerging from that determines how powerful your impact is in the community. We have to think like that in Indonesia. We have to move on from metrics. In fact, some of the UK and US biggest institutions have signed the DORA agreement in San Francisco that pledge to deviate away from using such metric because it can give false idea about what research is all about. And no wonder researchers in Indonesia is often plagiarized, and some are self-citating very frequently, very vehemently, because of such metric that gives incentive for people to do or to pursue this kind of endeavor rather than true impacts. So we have to think about true impact. And in order for Indonesia to lead in global world, we need to think about making a difference at a global scale. We want Indonesia to cure the planet. We want Indonesia to just lead and not just be participant anymore. We do have the power and we do have the mental capacity too. I'm one of the very low performing students in Indonesia when I was a student. And this is often discussed in the media, how low my grade was when I was studying in ITB. I can teach in UK's Russell Group University. So the problem is not about the capacity of intellect for Indonesian students and stuff. The problem is the research ecosystem that hasn't been built. Now think about this for a moment. In the UK, if you want to become associate professor, or if you want to become a full professor, or guru besar, you don't need the government's permission to do that. Every university has the prerogative to determine whether you are world leading already or not. So people who are your peers can determine your bona fide. Now in Indonesia, because of heavy reliance on the bureaucracy, you can imagine if you have an interdisciplinary background, it would be very difficult for the government to assess your expertise. So no wonder such interdisciplinary background is discouraged, because people who have that will have their career stagnated, right? It's very difficult to progress in career if you have a very broad set of expertise. Now that's why. That's one of the problems in Indonesia. And that's what the UK ICIS is about to tackle. And that's why we have interdisciplinary on our crest. So, and then what about other subjects like electric revolutions? Some of the things that UK ICIS colleagues in the UK can do is to encourage UK funding bodies to wire funding grants to Indonesian related research. So we have the GCRF funding, Global Challenge Research Fund, that UK universities can freely compete and then choose their developing countries as partners of their choice. So for example, some lecturers can choose Chile or Mexico or even Qatar, although Qatar is no longer a developing country, as their partners. Why not Indonesia? Right? Some of this money can then go to Indonesia to unlock some of this potential I talked to you about. So that's what we do to unlock Indonesian electric revolutions. Now, the problem with electric revolution is that Indonesia doesn't have the base manufacturing to translate high total readiness level research into innovation. You don't just ask people to create electric propulsion. We don't have the base manufacturing expertise for that. So we want to do that. We want to promote such collaboration from taking place. And we want to promote Merdeka Belajar summer courses. This is with your fellow colleagues from Undip in Semarang. So we gave our bespoke 1-week long lectures in electric vehicles for students. The money comes from world-class universities, not coming from the students. So the university is funded to do that. So not just from one university, we gave lectures from 3 universities and even more, and to expose students of interdisciplinary background about challenges pertaining to EV revolution. Probably for students from economic background or sociopolitics, and this can come together. That's just one of the few things that I want to share with you. I would very much welcome questions and discussion moving forward. Apologies for running out of time. Thank you very much, moderator. Over back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bagus. That was very informative and enlightening perspective. And then I really love your point, specifically related to how to set our position as an Indonesian academics in the global landscape in higher education. And as well, the capitalizing the knowledge transfer and, try to swift related to the matrix base into how to create impactful research for community. That's, I think, resonate deeply, in my heart. Okay, I think we have many questions, Dr. Bagus, but then I'm going to start the Q&A session because I know that you are the expert in terms of the interdisciplinary research. And then my question is what do you enjoy most? Working with researchers, publishers, or maybe other institutions across discipline? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Thank you. I'm not an expert in interdisciplinary sciences, but that's the point, isn't it? Nobody is. It's a continuous inquiry, but it's very rewarding. Just let me give you an example just before I answer your actual questions. So some of my research has something to do with termites nests, which is a very exotic subject, has nothing to do with my formation as a PhD student. So termites sarang rayap, for example. So the problem about architecture is that you want architectures in tropical countries not to rely heavily on high amount of electricity to cool it down or to even heat it up. Now we can derive inspiration from animal-built architecture like termites' nests. The problem is how to understand their nests or their mounds or their moons, because it has a very effective thermoregulation properties. The problem is biologists aren't usually equipped in a form of mathematics, numerical modeling to explain the complex heat transfer properties from termites' nests, right? Biologists are very interested in the cognitive behavior of termites, the breeding behavior, the colony behavior, but not on the fluid dynamics, for example. Now, but because of the experience I encountered in earth science in Imperial College at the time, we were able to dissect millimeter across rock samples with really tiny pores and try to find out how to extract oil out of it. So it's a very traditional earth science discipline. But to implement that in the context of termites' nests allows you to unlock the secret behind how come insects with brain no larger than a couple of microns or millimeters at most can come up with such a tremendous architecture. So you see, that's the most satisfying part to answer your question. Now, another satisfying, because you talk about, be it more a discussion with fellow scientists or with publisher or maybe policymakers. Now, both, because without actually engaging policymakers, publisher on, so I wrote in social medias like The Conversations or other popular media, not social media, popular media, in order to translate our research to general public. Now think about this, and I'm going to be a little philosophical here. If you wake up in the morning and you think about your research just being in some drawers in some building and nobody reads it, there is no meaning to your existence as a scientist. And I'm sorry to use this really broad philosophical brush, but if you can engage policymakers so as to make evidence-based policies, and you know that the future becomes better because of your research, that's another level of satisfaction. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Bagus, second question actually. What do you think is needed in the academic environment to enable researchers to collaborate effectively? And then when we talk about the Indonesian universities, sometimes we feel like lack of networking from international perspective. So how we move, to be international renowned universities?
We shouldn't wait for the government to help us. That's my immediate answer. So because a lot of people think about, we need a top-down policy to help us become globally competitive. Now it's not the time anymore. And the pandemic has taught us that I open my camera right now, I can teach in UNNES if I want to. And if UNNES let me, of course. But the point is, there's no reason to wait anymore. If you want to be globally competitive, you have to engage. And engaging is probably difficult because of the difference in culture of research. Some universities are better than other universities, although we live in an inclusive world. Still, some universities' quality is just so far away compared to the other university. You talk about Oxford and Cambridge, and not just because they are filled with brilliant people, but because they are 1,000 years old. So ITB, where I studied, is just not even, I don't know, a couple of hundreds. Is it even 100? I don't know. The point is, they've been there for a very long time. They have answered questions that people thousands of years ago have answered or tried to answer. Why are we here? What the education is for? What research is all about? Now, we can catalyze that process. That's the point. We can catalyze that process through diaspora's endeavor, bridging research. So through the UKSCIS, for example, I tried to make Warwick, Nottingham, Coventry, Portsmouth, Imperial, Durham, Newcastle, Manchester, Liverpool to work together with Indonesian universities, and not just the big ones, but also the medium one and the small size ones. So this is something that we can do. We should just immediately open our borders, and then we just contact these people and then say, look, we're Indonesia, we're a big country, we have a source that you don't have. I'm not just talking about natural resources, but we have genuine local wisdom. For example, you want to talk about tropical disease, you cannot do research about malaria in the UK. The malaria is gone in the UK. We still have it. Right? So why don't you come here and study this with us? And I think with a modest approach and with genuine interest to collaborate with people globally, you can do that. You can do that right now. So, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to remind you, if you have any questions or probably if you have any opinions, so please feel free to use the chat feature in the Zoom or probably in the YouTube channel. So we are going to address it to Pak Bagus. And I think, Pak Bagus, we have a question from Dr. Ratna. And the question is there any possibility to get GCRF grant? Because Dr. Ratna, in the last 2 years, she got this grant, but actually because of there is a network, one of her friends is a postdoctoral researcher in that institution. So what about if we don't have any network or postdoc fellow member there? What will we do?
Yeah, the problem is usually research grants aren't given to postdocs. I mean, I can give you the reason why, because for a multi-year grant, for example, postdocs contract is usually just 1 year or 2 years. So the funders would see this as a high risk. What if I grant 3-year projects for people who only have 1 year contract, right? What's going to happen with my 2nd year grant then? So it's high risk. And that's the thing. That's what the problem is. At the time with Aberystwyth University, yeah, that's true. So usually you need a permanent staff members like myself or some other colleagues to administer that grant. We have the capacity to apply for that grants, to get it and to administer it and to apply it. So the problem is if you don't have that, you have to convince non-Indonesian people. Now, this is the thing that I want to share. You don't need just Indonesian diaspora to do research with you. You can do it with British people. There's no saying that the collaboration can only take with people of the same passport. So it doesn't do that. The diaspora, although just a postdoc, can link you. not even a postdoc, probably a PhD student can link you with their supervisors. And then the supervisors would apply for that grant and give it to you. We have an example in Nottingham. One of our postdoc, now Dr. Susanti, then was just a PhD student, but she has been very effective at bridging her research in medicine faculty to Indonesia. And also I have seen in the chat box here, Wahyudin Permanasyam. Yes, he was a postdoc in Nottingham University. He could also bridge the research in his faculty with Indonesia. I'm from chemical engineering while he's in mechanical engineering. Yeah, I know Wahyudin Permanasyam very well. He overlapped with me when I first joined as a staff member. So, yeah.
Okay, so actually there are so much more question, but then unfortunately time is running out, Dr. Bagus, but we'd love to have you in the next opportunity. Probably you can be our visiting lecturer or visiting professor here at UNNES, or in my own department, Department of Economic Education, and we'd love to have you as an expert and visiting professor. So hopefully we can do collaboration effectively in the near future. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bagus, for your time, your insight, your information. That was very valuable experience for us here at UNNES. So before closing this first panel session, I would like to give you a token of appreciation, a certificate of speaker virtually. So hopefully it's be beneficial for you.
Matur nuwun Bapak Ibu, terima kasih.
Matur nuwun Pak Bagus, thank you so much. That's amazing. So please give a big round of applause for Dr. Bagus Mulyadi from Nottingham University.
Thank you. I'm giving applause to myself.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first speakers. Thank you, Mr. Sandi Arif, PhD, for set us moderated. And thank you once again to Assistant Professor Dr. Bagus Purta Mulyadi from UK. One of our committee and I also is a big fans of you. So we are also following you in Instagram. Thank you for coming to UNNES virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the second speakers, and we will connect with one of our lecturers from Language and Art faculty who have just arrived for her doctoral studies also in Taiwan. She is also the head of International Office, UNNES, and please welcome Mrs. Intan Permata Hapsari, SPD, MPD. Well, hello. Good afternoon there in Taiwan, Miss Intan.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Can you hear us clearly? Now I will hand the Zoom to you.
Yes. So am I audible?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the Master of Ceremony, Martinda Intan. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen here from Taiwan. I'm Intan, and I will be the moderator in this session. And thank you for joining this wonderful forum. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the second speaker, we would have Dr. Pan Hui Hua, the Dean of Office of International Affairs from National Yunlin University of Science and Technology, Taiwan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we listen to Dr. Pan's presentation, we would like to show you Dr. Pan's curriculum vitae. Yeah, here we go. Okay, right. Good afternoon, Dr. Pan. How are you there?
Yes, fine, thank you.
Okay, let me read your curriculum vitae first. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, once more, please. Yeah. Okay. Associate Professor Dr. Pan Wei Hua is a PhD university from Birmingham, United Kingdom. And also in this case, he got a training program in Harvard case from University of Harvard, US. And then he is also a chairman of business department for NYUST, and then Dean of International Affairs in NYUST, and also Director of Continuing Education Center in NYUST. And he is also an external consultant of Alibaba Taiwan. And he is also a chair of National Vocational Business Skills Competition in Taiwan. And he also conducted several research, and his interests for research concerning international business and strategic management. And then he also published more than 60 various academic programs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this session, Dr. Pan Hui Hua is going to present his 20 minutes presentation entitled Establishing International Research Collaboration between UNTAC and other universities overseas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Dr. Pan Wei Hua.
Okay. Okay, it's very nice to have the chance to be able to present myself and my university in these wonderful occasions. I feel it is my honor to share of my international experiences and also my universities, because I have long been working in the international office for my universities. Okay, and I'm also ever been the visiting professor to ITS in Indonesia, in Surabaya. And I also the visiting professor in Vietnam and in Russia. Okay, so I have various teaching experiences, okay, throughout the world. Okay, and let me share my screen. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please do, Dr. Pan.
Yes. The topic is how to establish international collaborations with Taiwan universities. On the other side, it is how Taiwanese university collaborate with external universities. Okay, this is a very interesting topic. Before I started, I go very quickly to give some other participants some brief introductions about Taiwan. Taiwan is a very small island. Okay. And with a population of 23 million. But we have a very vibrant economics, okay, with the high-tech industries. And we have a very high-quality educations and the Medicare with a socialist price, okay. And also, Taiwan is on the top north of the Malayo-Polynesian languages area. So we have some Aboriginal people. Their language is very similar to the Bahasa Indonesia. Okay, I think my family I have a half of the blood from this side, and the Taiwan is a very successful economy. This is the top 10 exports, okay, of our Taiwan Taiwan industries. Most of them they are finished goods with very high high-tech nature and high value added. Okay. And Taiwan is also a very successful economy. We are the top 21 economy by the GDP size. Our GDP per capita is very similar, sometimes a little bit higher than the European Union level. And we are the high technological center, particularly producing the semiconductor and the ICT hardware equipments. Okay. And most of the Taiwan industry is done by strong private sectors. Okay, not only in Taiwan, but the Taiwanese businesses are also very successful in mainland China. Okay, in China, for example, like the top 10 Chinese exporters, 7 of them are Taiwanese firms. Okay, the top 100 Chinese exporters, okay, about 30 are Taiwanese firms. Okay, so you can see these top 10 exporters in China. Okay, the top one is Foxconn, Quanta, Pegatron. Okay, you can see the Huawei is only number 4, Samsung is number 6, and the Chinese the Sinopec is the number 10th. Okay. So you know the Taiwan has a very high the GDP per capita or high PIB per capita. We also have a good infrastructures, low unemployment rates. For the international students, we have free medical services, low tuition fee, and low living costs. And we were also a safe countries, friendly. And for students, they can have a work permits during the semesters and after graduations. We also have a 9, okay, the Fortune 500 world, the top world enterprises in the world. Okay, there are some very successful the Taiwanese company, for example, like TSMC. Okay, TSMC produces semiconductor products. Its market capitalization is somewhat very similar to Samsung. Okay, but Samsung produces a lot of the different variety of the products. The TSMC only producing semiconductor chips only. Okay, and behind the TSMC success, actually, there is a very famous the engineer. Actually, he is a Vietnamese born. Okay, the people, and he then pursued his study in the National Taiwan University. It's just like the Dr. Bagus. Okay, he studied in the National Taiwan University. Okay, and also the Dr. Lin, when he finished his NTU degree, he then continued his PhD in Ohio State. He is the innovator of the so-called immersive lithographical technologies. Okay, it led to the creations of the EUV, the mask aligner. Okay, the single one machine can be priced at $120 million US per set per unit. Okay, and we also have lots of the very successful Taiwanese companies. Okay, a lot of them, they are in the mobile phones, ICTs, and precision instruments, and AI and smart technology industries. Okay, these are the core of the Taiwanese industries. And also we are island countries. Okay, so we also have a very strong the fleets. For example, recently even though I'm the Taiwanese people, I have just recently to know that 3 out of the top 10 largest container shipping companies, okay, they are Taiwanese firms. Okay, they are Evergreen, Yangming Corporations, One Hai Lines. Okay, so you can see just a few months ago, there is Evergreen, the ships, okay, block the Suez Canal. Okay, it lead to the whole European countries. Okay, the price has the rising because of the goods from East Asia to Europe has been stopped. Okay, by these ships. Okay, and we also have like the Asus, Acer in computers, and Formosa groups, etc. Okay. Taiwan is a very ideal choices for the Southeast Asian countries to become your academic partners. Okay, why is that? I think because of the Taiwan, we just a little bit moving from the production-driven society countries to innovation-driven countries, while a lot of the in Southeast Asian countries, they are in the factor-driven countries, moving towards the production-driven countries. Okay. In the different stages, the government and they have a different role, and also the society has a different role. For example, in a factor-driven stage, the government and the states is their responsibility to provide the cheap production factors such as land, labor, raw material, tax reliefs, etc. Okay. For the investment-driven stage, okay, and we need to provide a big quantity of the skilled workforce, engineers. Okay, and then we need to develop the capital markets to pursue economy of the scale, and cooperate with the foreign technologies, and focus on the technological diffusions. Okay, etc. In the innovation-driven stage, okay, we need to enhance the creative and entrepreneurial talents, okay, and develop to enhance the productivity and the competitiveness through the innovations. Okay, Taiwan is very good in terms of the innovations. So you can see we are the top 3 out of the Asia, the top 1. Only the second one, only after Hong Kong among the Asian countries in terms of entrepreneurship and the innovations. Okay, you can see those scores other Southeast Asian countries. Okay, Singapore is the highest, but it's still below Taiwan. Okay. Okay, so the Taiwan educations and universities is a good choices for the Southeast Asian countries because Taiwan manufacture are moving from China towards Southeast Asia, and also a lot of the Taiwanese enterprises, we are also moving to Southeast Asia because of the Sino-American trade war. We need to have the China plus one strategies. That means we need to have another the production base outside China. Okay, so you can see there is a so-called theory called flying geese or dragon patterns. Okay, Japan is the head of in the East Asia. Then there's 4 tigers, mixed countries: Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore. And China is the body of the dragons, and then the Southeast Asia now is catching up. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, and also because of the geographical proximity and the cultural similarities between Taiwan and Southeast Asia, so therefore it's easy to building up the relationship with us with those Southeast Asian countries, and also it is very safe and warm environments. For example, I'm the professor to some Southeast Asian countries students like this. I fly particularly to Ho Chi Minh City to attend his weddings, my students' weddings. Okay, and this is my students who won the National Taiwan University Management Review, the best dissertations contest. Okay, and also I have another Indonesian student just a few days ago. He got the best papers. Okay, in in competitions organized by the Central Bank of the Indonesia. Okay, so the Taiwan is really very good the partners with Southeast Asian countries. Okay, about for the intake, we are just a very newly established university location in the central Taiwan, and we have 5 colleges. Okay, and the number of the students about 10,000. Okay, now our achievement is our ranks is between 200 to 250 in emerging economies. We are nice in Taiwan, and we are the 28th for the industrial income rankings 2021. That means we have a very high academic industrial collaborations. Okay, so in Taiwan. Not only our professors, their fundings not only come from the governments, from the states, but a lot of them they come from the industries. Okay, for example, my university is the top industrial collaboration university in Taiwan. Okay. And forms of the cooperation with UNTAC or UNTAC with other universities. Okay, particularly now we have the so-called official. We Taiwan government we have southbound policies. Okay, so we have a lot of the money and the funds. Okay, targeting at the Southeast Asian countries. Okay, in the joint research centers, in the research e-platforms, overseas programs, and also the visiting professorship. Okay. And this is our Ministry of the Educations. Okay, this is the grants. Okay, distributions. So you know that every year the Taiwan MOE grant. Okay, about 18,000 research projects annually. Okay, it's quite a big amount of the monies. Okay, to the universities and the researchers. Okay, and because I just mentioned that we have a so-called new southbound projects. Okay, so nowadays, the Taiwan we have a number of the research projects, research centers. Okay, with different various university in the Southeast Asian regions. Okay, for example, like Taiwan, Indonesia, we have the Circular Economy and the Green Innovation Resource Center, and the urban the environment change topics, and Taiwan, Vietnam, we have agricultural science and the environmental protections projects, okay, etc. Okay. Okay, so this is the southbound policies. Now we apply. There are many different projects or platforms. Okay, so and later I will introduce a little bit. For example, like the promoting corporations, promote talent exchange and cultivations, and the building international collaboration platforms. Connect international science parks, and intelligent prevention of the natural disasters, and the international cooperative research on earth science. Okay, and also the overseas science and technology innovation centers. Okay, we have one in Vietnam for these overseas science and technology innovation centers based in the Ho Chi Minh cities. Okay. So we just established these research centers, okay, in Ho Chi Minh cities, okay, funded by Taiwan MOST, okay, and this is just newly beginnings, okay, but it's a very long-term plan. So we get the money from the state for 4 years budgets, so it's a huge amount of the monies, okay. So we have lots of the things under these centers. Okay, we do plan and execute and policy promotions, and also we facilitate the technological and R&D and exchange, and the property right management. Okay, resource integrations and applications. We also provide the training courses, faculty student exchanges, and the environmental protection policy suggestion and the planning. Okay, so this is the job for this center based in Vietnam. Okay. In the meantime, our Ministry of the Science and Technology is also seeking to have the bilateral science and technology cooperation mechanisms. Okay, via the negotiation and cooperative agreements. Okay, so because there are many, many of them. And so I don't need to go through it one by one. Okay, so I just like to tell all the researchers and participants that because in Taiwan now we are targeting at the Southeast Asia, we have a so-called new southbound policies. Okay, so nowadays it's the most easier the way to get the research funded by these projects. Okay. So you know that we also have the magic fundings. Okay, what is the magic grants? Is the MOST adds on grants for the international cooperations. So that means if you already have a project, okay, or already have a project, you like to extend from your project to the Southeast Asia, then the MOST will give you extra monies for you to extend your study to cover the Southeast Asian regions. Okay, so as long as you are already the principal investigators, or we call it the PIs of the ongoing researches projects funded by MOST, okay, you can simultaneously apply to the bilateral agencies. Okay, and you can get the 2 years or 3 years duration fundings. Okay, able to be longer than the durations of the original ongoing projects. Okay, so that's why we call it as add-on grants. Okay. So the fundings are various, okay, for the Southeast Asian regions, okay, and also how can this the continues? Actually, it can be applied online, okay. Once it's confirmed and submitted by university, usually there's no problem for that, okay. Then we can have an academic and review and the priority makings, okay, by our MOST. Then again, this project will be reviewed by international cooperations and development funds. Okay, we call it the ICDF. And then the case once you will be choose to be subsidized. Now the pass rate is around 60 to 80%. Okay, so it's very high. I think it's the highest. The fund the projects, okay, in the meantime from Taiwan. So because of that, the UNTEC now we have some international research collaborations with overseas university. We hold the online workshop and co-teaching programs. Okay, and for example, the online workshops we have with India and with the Brazilian university just recently, and this month, incoming months, this month, we are going to have another online research workshop with Finnish university. Okay, so this is the online workshop. Okay, with Brazilian universities. Okay, so we have usually we try to building up what kind of research interest. Okay, both university we have. So we try to bridge in the research interest together with the Taiwanese laboratory, UNTEC laboratory, and the UNTEC the researchers. Okay, with the other overseas the universities. Okay, once we have the interest together, working together, then we have a so-called domain focuses. Okay, we try to focus on some selected domains. For example, like last time with the Brazilian university, we're focusing on the artificial intelligence, okay, and big data or the computer software, etc. Okay. Then we have the speakers. We gone through introduction their laboratory, leaving out okay their contact numbers. Okay. For them to working to know get acquaintance with each other. Okay, then they can to apply for the fundings. Okay, from the government, from the states. Okay. Okay, and also we have the co-teaching programs. Okay, so I just mentioned that I was teaching in ITS for a very short period of time. On the other hand, we also host the ITS, the teaching staff, to be able to come over to the universities, because the Imam Bahaki, he is the dean of the ITS. He come to Taiwan very often, so we already put his name in our curriculum. So he come to Taiwan very often. Okay, almost every year. I think he also enjoy it very much. Okay. So that's why I brief introductions about how UNTEC can collaborate with overseas universities. Particularly, we have a lot of the opportunities to work with the Southeast Asian countries nowadays. Okay, so I hope that if the participant here today, if you are interested to work with the UNTEC laboratory or UNTEC professors, please do welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pan, for your wonderful sharing. Okay, you have known that some of the lecturers from Universitas Negeri Semarang now is still pursuing their doctorate program, and some also of our alumni also taking their master program in UNTEH. Yeah, so
Yes.
hopefully after this we can collaborate more for having, in this case, collaborative research for some faculties in our university, yeah, Universitas Negeri Semarang and also UNTEH.
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now this is the time for us to have Q&A session. Okay, I will short the question from you who raise your hand, or maybe write down your questions on the chat box or YouTube. Okay, here we have Dr. Rini here. Yeah, he wants to ask you some questions, a bit experience for her collaborative research so far with UNTEH, especially for engineering faculty. Okay, so Dr. Rini, okay.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Prof. Pan. Nice to meet you here.
Yes.
Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Rini Kusmawardani. I am from Civil Engineering Department of UNNES. And I would like to inform to you, actually, I already have collaboration research with Construction and Civil Engineering Department of UNTEH since 2019. So it's already almost 3 years joint research with my partner from Civil Engineering Department of UNTEH with Professor Museung Chang. And under my research collaboration, actually we have umbrella research like that. And under my research collaboration, Prof. Chang took one of junior lecturer from UNNES to continue to pursue PhD under his supervisor, and every year they also took some magister from master program student also to support our research, Prof. Pan. And actually this collaboration is very good from my side because Prof. Chang he already helped me to design my laboratory from nothing to be something extraordinary. So I think it's give a lot of benefit, not just only for UNNES and also for UNTEH. The first funding I got for this collaboration I got from UNNES Research Center for scheme of joint collaboration research between UNNES and Prof. Chang. He accept to be my partner at that moment in 2019, and then in the next year I got funding from my minister for multi-years funding, Minister of Science and Technology, and Prof. Chang also I think he also got the funding from, I don't know, from industry or maybe from us. So actually this research is running very well, and the output is also every year we also can the output is the publication FCA every year, 2 until 3 articles each year, and then book chapter with international publisher and other international conference article. And I think it's very give a lot of experience, just for not for me and also maybe for some from UNTEH. Actually, I hope we could extend our collaboration not just only in research and maybe in academic field, yeah. Because I think with this collaboration in research, it already settled, and not just on my laboratory, but my friend laboratory from construction management laboratory, also from construction and civil engineering department, they also work well too. So I think it's a very good a way for us to strengthen our collaboration between UNTEH and UNNES. And
thank you very much. We already have a very successful example here.
And actually, I visited UNTEH in 2019. At that moment, I to be the professor there, visited lecturing there. I UNTEH, and the 1 year after, I invite Professor Museung Chang to visit UNNES. He also give he also give a lecture in my department. And actually this year I have invited to be external explainer for master student at UNTEH, but because of the policy of Taiwan government, so I got the visa. But I hope next year I can visit again UNTEH because I and Professor Musil Chang, we have a plan. I hope the PhD doctoral under our research could be finished the PhD in 3 years, and we work hard for that, for this goal. So I hope I can visit UNTEH again next year, and we can discuss a lot of many projects, not just research, but maybe academic field. Because actually I already try to expand the collaboration in academic field with Chairman Lee, the head of Civil Engineering Department of UNTEH. But maybe I need your support to do that because to give a facilitate this project, and maybe you can give a priority to UNES member who would like to pursue the PhD degree or master degree, because I think the result with my result of my research, I think the result is very good because we can help each other to obtain the maybe in the world ranking, because we can publish a lot of article from this program. And maybe not just only in civil engineering department,
yes,
but
yes.
it also can spread in other department of UNES and UNTEH. Maybe
Sure.
yeah, and maybe in the future I would like to ask your help to facilitate
no problem.
and support our scheme of not just research but also in academic work. Thank you, Prof. Pan.
Okay, and also the hope is that because you are the wonderful example, you can help to establish more linkages and connections for InTech, okay, in the UNES and in the Indonesia University as well. Actually, in Taiwan, as I said, in my PPT presentations, of course, Taiwan constructions and civil engineering is also very good, okay, but our best in InTech and most of the Taiwanese university, the engineering in the engineering faculties, the electronics and the informations, okay, usually they are the strongest one, okay, and particularly semiconductors, okay. So we are very good in there, but now it's a pity that most of the Southeast Asian countries, their cooperations with UNTECs, they are mainly focusing on the environments and the civil engineering area. Okay. In the future, we hope that we can extend a little bit more to more different the fields. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rini. Yeah, Dr. Pan, as you have said that, Dr. Rini is a good example for the collaboration between UNES and UNTEH. And
Yes.
I hope after this, you can help us as a Dean of International Affairs, in this case, for collaborate for many faculties later instead of Faculty of Engineering for getting further collaboration.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Right, let me check whether there is any question here. Okay. All right. Dr. Pan, one more question delivered to you in this case, that in your slides, you stated that mostly the collaborative research here is funded by Ministry of Science and Technology. My question is that, is there any funding from your research and research center, in this case in UNTEH, for giving fund for the collaborative research in your institution, and then with UNES in this case?
Okay, that actually in Taiwan, apart from the MOST fundings, there are also a big proportions of the funding actually come from the industry. Okay, as I said, the industrial corporations, okay, is one of the major financial revenues, okay, for the university in Taiwan, particularly to the UNTEC. Okay, in UNTEC we have a few research centers. Their annual the revenues. Just like a company, just like a small company. Okay, so they are extremely profitable. Some research centers. Okay, so they are financial sustained. For example, we have a research center which is for the environmental one, that one. Okay, they have more than 60 staff, including the researchers and the staff. Okay, altogether more than 60s. Okay, so it's quite a big research center. And most of the actually is the fundings from the industries. So so that's why in Taiwan the professors not only look at the government and the state. Sometimes they can gain the financial subsidies from the industries. For example, UNTEC recently we just have a very big shoemaking company called Feng Tai. Feng Tai Corporations. He donated about 300 million US dollar. Okay, to UNTEC. They built up a Feng Tai foundations, and this foundations is also sometimes used for supporting the good, talented PhD candidates.
That's great.
PhD candidates, if they have a very good talents, in publication and academic research. Okay, so that's why I just said not only from the MOST but also from the industry. There's both. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pan.
Thank you.
Okay, there is another questions for you here from Mr. Cepi Kurniawan. Congratulations for UNTEC with the achievement, Prof. Pan, related to magic. And then what kind of research scheme covered? And then, is it applicable for both fundamental and applied science scheme? Also, is this magic allow the researcher to have students' mobilities?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think the answer is positive. Yes, because our MOST, the budget is very flexible. Okay, and so therefore, because it is aiming for the Southeast Asian countries, so the major fund actually is encouraging the student mobility. Yes, sure, and also for the staff and the exchange as well. Yes.
Okay. Great. Good news then, Prof. Pan. Okay, one more question before we end the session from Mrs. Sri Sumartiningsih. She is also a PhD from Taiwan, but she has finished her PhD. Yeah, Dr. Pan, in your university, is there any program for postdoctorate program like in sports science? Thank you.
Okay. No, we don't have a sports science department. We don't have that. Okay, because in Taiwan the science we call ourselves as technological universities. We are mainly focusing on what the industry needs. Okay. For the science, maybe it is in some comprehensive university, they have this kind of the progress. In the science and technology university, we mainly focusing on what the industry demands is about. Okay, yes.
Okay, Mr. Cepi and Mrs. Sri, hopefully the answer from Dr. Pans will answer your questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, now we are getting close to the end of the session. Thank you, Dr. Pan Wei Hua, as our inspiring speaker today. And to all the attendants, we really do appreciate your interest in this important issue. And please, you may give a big hand of applause emoticon for our speaker today, Dr. Pan. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Dr. Pan, UNNES would like to give you a digital certificate of appreciation as our insightful speaker today.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your participation in this case, Dr. Pan. See you soon then.
See you.
Okay. Yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, now I will give the time back to the Master of Ceremony, Martinda Intan.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, give the reaction of applause to Associate Professor Dr. Pan Wei Hua. We are looking forward to welcoming you at UNNES in the future. Thank you also, Ma'am Intan, for set us moderated very well. Best wishes for your study in Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, now we go to the panel session with our research matching current partner from University Technology Mara, Malaysia, and also Kasetsart University, Thailand, and our consortium research partner from Universitas Negeri Manado. Now let us welcome the moderator, Mr. Sandi Arif, PhD.
Thank you so much, Ms. Intan. Welcome back to UNNES Research Networking Forum 2021. Thank you so much for ladies and gentlemen who are still joining us here at this forum. So today we are now in the second panel session. We have three incredible speakers to share with you about the matching grant funding opportunities and also research collaboration between Indonesian universities and also other universities overseas. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the first speaker for the second panel session, Dr. Nurul Hamiza Zamzuri. So Dr. Nurul Hamiza Zamzuri is an associate professor, Faculty of Business and Management, University Technology Mara, UITM, Malaysia. She received her PhD in Event Management from University Putra, Malaysia, and currently she is the Deputy Director of Social Creativity and Innovation and Research Nexus. Her research interests cover sustainability, development, event management, and management information system. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Nurul Hamiza Zamzuri. Assalamualaikum, Professor Nurul. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, Waalaikumsalam, Alhamdulillah. Thank you for this invitation. I feel like it is very an honor for me to be part of this Rumah Inovasi virtual, as because I just would like to share with all of you, the lecturers, the top management, that University Negeri Semarang or Semarang is actually, I feel that it is like my hometown. Every year I went to Semarang, but because of this pandemic, I'm not able to visit all of you there. But I'm very interested and excited if I can meet all of you in future. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. It's an honor for UNNES, Universitas Negeri Semarang, to have you as one of the incredible speakers for this forum. Inshallah, hopefully you can visit Semarang in the near future, Professor Nurul.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the time and place is yours. If you want to share your presentation, please.
Okay, thank you. And first and foremost, as I mentioned earlier, thank you so much for this invitation. Thank you so much for the Research Institute Universitas Negeri Semarang, Pak Suheto, Dr. Ratna, and all the friends there. I said friends, it's not just a colleague anymore, but it's a family, my family in Semarang, and also the management in UNNES and all the lecturers. Today, I would like to share a bit my humble sharing about my sharing session on this research collaboration. Okay. 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 I need to. Okay. All right. I am not able to share my my PowerPoint. Dr. Ratna, do you have my PowerPoint there? If you can share.
Okay, actually we have your file, so probably we can share from the operator. Yeah, just to prepare.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, while waiting the presentation ready, so I think I would like to remind the participants, thank you so much once again for still joining us here. And then if you have any questions, so please feel free to use the chat feature in Zoom or our YouTube channel. So at the end of the session, I would like to address those questions to the respected speaker. So talking about the research collaboration while waiting the presentation, Professor Nurul. So what's the update from the University of Technology Mara in terms of research? I believe you have so many research in your university.
Yeah, thank you so much. So at this moment, we have research on every areas. For example, we have engineering, architecture, medical, medicine area, so and social science, and because UITM is actually the largest university in Malaysia and have many parts of Malaysia that have our campuses, and also we have so many programs. So that is why we have many areas on the related of research. So at this moment, we are offering matching grant as usual that we offer with UNNES Negeri Semarang last year. We promote this grant and really invite all lecturers from international to collaborate with us. Okay, and then at this moment, we are more focusing on, especially on the sustainable development research area, in which involve the biodiversity, involved with social impact to the community, and also. And apart from that, we also really emphasize on the impact of social innovations to the community. So we don't want that we have research, we have data collections and our innovations, then that's it. So what we want is that how we can contribute, how we can distribute and share our research innovation with community. This is the current that we have. Okay, I think I already have my PowerPoint slide in front.
Yeah, Professor Nurul, I think sounds very interesting, and I believe your presentation is ready, so over to you.
Okay, thank you. So this is today I just would like to share with all the participants here, all the audience, 544 audience, and also everyone here, that the journey of how we do this research collaboration with UNNES, how we start, and what are the outcomes of this research collaboration. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next slide. So this is actually our first visit, as formal visit to University Negeri Semarang. We went to Research Institute University Semarang, and thank you so much, Dr. Suheto, Dr. Ratna, and all families in University Negeri Semarang Research Department who welcome us. This is my first official visit. Why I say it is an official visit? Because before that, I went to UNNES just for to meet my colleagues or my penolong Naik Chancellor, Prof. Hadaria, who went there for, I think she have sabbatical or something there. So I went to University Semarang before that in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I went there and I visited, just visit without an appointment. with some of the faculty. I'm so sorry because I'm saying that it's because not a Bible, because I don't have any ideas. I don't have friends there in 2018 in Semarang, UNNES. So when I visited Prof. Hadaria there, I was introduced by Dr. Chepi with some of the lecturers there. So I went to meet Dr. Endang Sugiharti. Okay, if you are around here, so this is me, Dr. Endang, where we have our first collaboration of research, data collection of article for technology impact, UNNES and Malaysia. That was my first time that I visited there as personnel, as a lecturer. And then based on that, I actually was introduced by the Dean of Faculties of Economics, Professor Dr. Harry Yanto, and that was my second visit, and that was the first visit then during that time to Institute University Semarang. So what I would like to share with all of you, the journey of this collaboration is not just an official, but is it official at first just to meet, just to know warga Universiti Semarang. Yeah, because that is what I would like to share with all of you, all the lecturers there. When you go to overseas, you represent your university, you represent your country. So take that opportunity. So that is what I did last time when I went to Semarang, UNNES. I tried to find friends, and then I create an official collaboration, official discussion. Okay, so next slide, please. So this is some of the moment that I shared to all of you. This is what I said, that I fall in love with Semarang, especially to the Karamun Jawa Island. I went to Karamun Jaya Island, where Dr. Chepi, if I'm not mistaken, he helped us there as a tourist. Then I also met some of my students there in UNNES who they have their academic visit there in Semarang. And also I visited Prof. Dr. Herianto at his office. So what I'm trying to say to all of you, in order for this research collaboration to begin, we as a researcher, we as a lecturer, it's not just from UIM Malaysia, it's not just from Semarang, we must feel that it is our responsibility to promote our university, to promote our expertise. So this is what I would like to encourage everyone in Semarang. Come to Malaysia, promote yourself, promote your expertise, promote your university, and promote your Semarang, your Negeri Semarang. So because of that, it will be, because of this collaboration, because of this discussion, you can have more collaboration. Okay, next slide. So what are the activities that we did during next slide. Activities that we have. Actually, when we have this discussion on the 2 weeks after my visit to Research Institute Semarang, Pak Suheto, Dr. Ratna and team came to Malaysia for discussion also. So it's like we have a visit they came to Malaysia and they discussed about what else that we can do apart from research. So from that, we plan to have a international research collaboration together. So we actually organized together CSSR 7 and CSSR 8, which is last year, and inshallah this year we also collaborate together CSSR 8 this year. So the collaboration is on the organizing the conference, because some of the lecturers in UNNES, we invite them to be our evaluator for our article evaluator. So that is some of the activities which we have a conference together. Okay, so next slide. So as outcome of this, some of the papers have been published. This is some of the papers that have been published together based on our collaboration of organizing the conference in Scopus and also in ERA. We have more, yeah. Dr. Ratna, Professor Rito, we have more actually. I just able to find these two article interface so that I can snapshots here. So we have more. Okay, we will update your team at Research Institute Semarang about the update of a publication. So what we have apart from this conference is actually based. We have matching grant. Matching grant means that we actually have one topic. Let's say for example, yeah, for Dr. Atika Wijaya, toward her title is toward the community-based sustainable identifying the impact of tourism development Karimunjawa Island. So that is, for example, this is the topic that we have. In Malaysia, we also did similar topic with Dr. Atika, and Dr. Atika is actually the same as our member, which is the title is toward the community-based sustainable identifying the impact of tourism development in Tuba Island. So we have a comparison. We have a comparison study between UNNES, Semarang and Malaysia. So in our case, we have Karimunjawa Island and also we have Tuba Island in Malaysia. So this is some of the outcome that we have about this research collaboration. So just to share with all of you our experience of of establishing this networking collaboration of matching grant. Actually, it is not an easy task. Yeah, I think Dr. Ratna will agree with me because the PIC that we collaborate or communicate is Dr. Ratna, yeah, and other team. Yeah, it is just not very easy because due to time. Sometimes I'll call her late at night. I call her early in the morning. It is not because we have when we have a discussion, we do not have just through email or Google Meet meeting. We also discuss through WhatsApp because at the end of this research collaboration, we need to have a mutual of agreement MOA. So that because the challenge that we have is time, yeah. But however, I think Dr. Ratna will also agree with me. It is okay, although we have some challenges, but due to to help our university, to help our lecturers, we will do whatever that we can to help our lecturers in UNNES and in UITM. Okay, what else that I have? Do I have any more slide there? Next slide. Okay, this is some of the activities that we have. Apart from our research collaboration through mentoring grant, we have this webinar organizing together. So we organize together with faculties of economic, we organize with Research Institute or University Semarang, and also we help to promote any programs from UNNES to UITM. So please let us know if at any of the webinar that you would like us to attend, just let us know and share the link. So this is some of the activities that we have during our matching grant collaboration. Okay, do we have any more slides from me? I think this is this is the last slide. Okay, do I have any next slides? Okay, all right. Okay, so what I would like to emphasize or highlight here to all the audience, to all the participants, that we really encourage to have this collaboration by doing through our matching grant. Matching grant in UITM and UNNES means that what we have, our practice is that we will do some similar concept of research, but we will do a comparative study between Malaysia and Indonesia, or we have a main research objective and we have different sub-research objective. So in terms of money, it is based on our MOA discussion. So, and the outcome that we usually would like to highlight for research collaboration, one is producing papers in Scopus or ERA, okay, publishing papers in Scopus or ERA, and also organizing a conference together, and also organize webinar or seminar together and other academic activities. So because of this matching grant, we have the opportunity, we also have the opportunity together to invite all of you to become our lecturers, invited lecturers or invited speakers in our class or in University Technology Mara. So with that, I think that's all just my sharing session from me, and I thank you so much, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Nurul. That was very informative and enlightening perspective from you, specifically from UITM. And actually, I have a great news because you've mentioned Dr. Herianto, the Dean of the Faculty of Economics. So this year, Dr. Herianto is actually full professor in Faculty of Economics, Alhamdulillah. Yes, Professor Nurul.
Congratulations, Prof.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so hopefully, the academics, the researcher from UNNES, we can visit UITM Malaysia, and then we do collaboration through the matching grant scheme in the near future, hopefully, inshallah. Okay, so actually, I'm trying to accommodate the question first, and then I'm going to give it to you, the question at the end of the session. But before proceeding to the Q&A session, we still have a second speaker. So the second speaker will be Watsatri Dition, PhD. She is Assistant Professor, Watsatri Dition, PhD, as a full-time instructor of Department of Educational Technology, Faculty of Education, Kasetsart University, Bangkok, Thailand, since 2014. Dr. Dition has been involved in research projects that focus on technology integration for teaching and learning development. Her areas of interest focus on online education, mobile education, ASEAN education, and digital tool for elderly. Since 2015, her studies were accepted to publish in ASEAN international journals and major conferences within educational technology field. And currently, Dr. Dition has worked as Assistant Dean of International Affairs of Faculty of Education at Kasetsart University, Bangkok, Thailand. In 2020, Dr. Dition participated in Erasmus Scholarship as a visiting professor at METU in Turkey. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Watsatri Dition.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Dr. Dition. How are you today?
I'm good. We have a same time zone, right, in Indonesia.
That's right. So now we are in, what time is it in Bangkok?
I think it's almost 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay.
3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m.
Yeah. So are you ready to present?
Yeah. I'm
okay,
ready.
so please check out offer.
Okay. So the first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this conference. And it's very small world. We have people from Taiwan, from Indonesia. I'm not from Taiwan, but I have a husband from Taiwan. I married with a Taiwanese guy, but I cannot speak Chinese, and we communicate in English. And today I will present the matching grant, the collaboration research that I'm working with the UNNES. Let me share my presentation. So let's see. Okay. if you see my okay.
Okay, perfect. I think we can look at your presentation perfectly. Thank you.
Okay. The topic that I would like to talk today, I only have a 15 minutes. I will talk about I think many of you don't know what the Kasetsai University in Thailand, where we are now. And also I will talk about the goal of the collaborative research grant in KU. We call us like a KU. And the collaborative research project that I'm working with the UNNES. So welcome, this is my university. This is the picture of my university. We are located in Bangkok, Thailand, in the northern part of the Bangkok. And what we about? So sorry. So the meaning and how old we are. Kasetsai is mean horticulture. So we used to be like an horticulture school. We teach the people how to plant the tree, how to do the rice field in the beginning. And we are 70 years old now, kind of the old people. And from the first year until the 78 years, we developed from the horticulture school to the many field of the study. So the second question, how many school and campus in Kasetsai? We have a 6 big campus located in Bangkok, is the biggest one. And we have a campus in the rural area and in the northern part, in the middle part, and the total is 6 campus. And we have almost 40 schools. We have a 39 school that cover the various field of the study, like technology, education, business, agriculture, engineering, humanity. Also, the most famous that school of our university is education, agriculture, and the fishing school. So if you are from this kind of various field and you want to collaborate with us, we are very welcome to collaborate with you. And also our university, we offer the program from undergrad, master degree, PhD degree. Also, since we have the educational school, so we have a school like a middle and high school in our university as the teaching lab for the Faculty of Education. And also we collaborate, we focus on develop university to be the research university and collaborate with the international institution around the world. In our record, we have like more than 100 around the world that we are working on. We have an agreement, we have an MOU, including the Indonesia. We have many universities in the university that collaborate with us. And this year we have a UNNES. It's a collaborate research project with us. So what we are doing at the KU for the international collaboration, we have 4 major that we are doing with the other university, other international university. We develop the exchange student and scholar program. We have the visiting professor program. If you are interested, you can apply. And we set up the international conferences. Last year, we have like 2 or 3 international conferences. And also the most important that we have the collaborative research with the other university. If you're interested to set up the exchange program with us, we are welcome. If you want to become the visiting professor, we can talk later. Also, if you do the collaborative research, we are welcome as well. So I would like to talk today is about international collaboration research project that we work with the UNNES today. So what the goal of this project? So the Kasetsai University, we would like to improve, support the KU staff and faculty to have the international experiences, to use the English, to practice our English speaking and the writing, and the highest goal we want to support our faculty to get the international publication and also the other activity to do that. So what about the research grant process in Kasetsai University? We have a four like a major step for getting the grant. The first thing is that the Kasetsai gonna apply, ask for the faculty to apply for the who wanna be the participate in the research grant process. So I send the application to the university, and you see gonna collect and read the CV to see that you have a time or ability to work on the research project. After you get the university approved, they're gonna have a meeting and they set up the budget, and they're gonna develop the agreement. So this time I already signed the agreement and start working on with the UNNES already. In the phase 3, the university gonna follow up us how can we work with the UNNES and what the project going on right now. And at the end, they're gonna follow up how the publication, international publication. So in our agreement with the UNNES, we need to have at least 2 papers to be published in the international database like Scopus or Web of Science to get the public in order to complete the agreement. So I already finished the first one. Second one, we are working on the third one. So in all the university, the university pick 2. That is me and my colleague. This is a picture of me, and also the guy is my colleague, and his name is Bunlat Pangsot. They were from the same department, Educational Technology Department, right now. And the research project with the UNNES is, I think, the same as Malaysia. We are the matching grant. So the UC give us the grant total 250 baht or equal to is your money, or if the count as the US dollar is around 7,500. It's not that much, but it's covered for everything. Collect the data and collect for and it's enough for the paper, for the submit the paper. Also, it's covered for everything, including the activity with the UNNES in the future. And during the past several months, we have an activity, not only to collect the data, but we have an activity during the data collection. So we have one seminar with a professor from UNNES, and I brought my master student to join the seminar, the online seminar. Let's talk about the blended learning and the mobile learning in Thailand. And this is, if you see the picture, this is the picture that students present how about the blended learning in Thailand. The topic that I work with the UNNES is about the blended learning between the Indonesia and the Thailand. So the students talk about the blended learning in Thailand in overall and how the teacher accept the technology in Thailand. So this is master student presentation, and this is Q&A, and this is another student presentation about how to teaching after during the age of the COVID-19. And the seminar is very successful. Students since the English is not the first language of the Thai people, but students pay attention a lot. Like they practice the English, they practice how to speak to the Indonesian professor. Yeah. So this is the picture that we are working on right now. We are in the third step is develop the project. We are working on we got it approved already. We are working on the document to ask for like a human right or something. If you collect the data from individual, you need to ask for the review board. So we are in that process. I think we're gonna get the result by next month. after we get the result, the get approval, we gonna start collect the data and write the report and send it to the publication. So this is the name of the research paper that we are working with the UNNES, the case study of the blended learning in Thailand and Indonesia. We using the technology acceptance model as a guideline for collect the data. And the objective that our Thai team working on, we're gonna explore how the teacher, student accept and the blended learning in Thailand. And we're gonna find out what the factor that affect the blended learning in Thailand. And all the results, we're gonna try to develop the model for the international blended learning that maybe we can fit with the Thai student and Indonesian student. Because I will tell you that when we finish the research, we will not just stop working with you. We look forward to have an activity with the UNNES. So we're gonna try to develop. We hope that we're gonna try to develop the course that UNNES student or UNNES professor can teach Thai student. Like an international global online courses. So we're gonna use this project as important data to develop the next project together. So the thing that I would like to say that we will not stop for this season. We're gonna look further for the next project. So this is about the research project. So we do the survey. We're gonna do the focus group, the interview, and this is about the participant of the project. Then we're gonna collect the data. Yeah. So I say already, we are in the current process. We are working on the IRB, the review board for the human rights. And we expect to finish the report and the publication by April or May 2022 of next year. And this is all about I work with UNNES. And if any of you in the conference, please contact me about in this email. This is my email. And if you want to work with us, this time I am the head of the Department of Educational Technology as well. We plan to bring our students to go to overseas after the COVID-19. And Indonesia is one of on the list, in the first or second list, that we're gonna bring the student. And if we have a chance, we can, if you wanna see us or you wanna collaborate with us, I'm gonna bring the student to visit your university, or if you wanna visit Thailand, we are welcome all of you to visit our department and our faculty, and we can talk about the research project together. So, yeah, that is all the research plan and the research process that I work with UNNES right now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dition. I think that was very impressive. So actually, I'm very interested in knowing deeper about the students' perception from your research. But then we still have a last speaker. So I think we are going to discuss about it at the end of the Q&A session. So I'm going to introduce to you the final speaker for today's event, Dr. Mario Tulenan Parinsi, MTI. Dr. Mario Tulenan Parinsi is an assistant professor, Communication and Information Technology Education of Universitas Negeri Manado, Manado State University, Unima. He received his doctorate from Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta on vocational technology education. He participated sandwich-like research training in technical and vocational education for postgraduate at Taxi Universität Dresden, Germany. He published scholarly works in his research expertise on information technology, vocational technology, and educational technology. So Dr. Mario, good afternoon from Semarang.
Good afternoon from Manado.
Okay, so how are you today, sir? Everything's good?
Very good. I'm good. Thank you for the opportunity for me to maybe presenting our consortium research.
My pleasure,
Okay.
sir. Okay, so time is yours, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Chance for me. Thank you for Dr. Suwito and Prof. Wahyu for trusting me to presenting our research results in this big event, I think, about launching Rumah Inovasi Virtual. Salam semuanya. Okay, I am a member of consortium research from Universitas Negeri Manado, North Sulawesi Province, with maybe 5 LPTK in Indonesia. We join consortium, join forces for making a research about how to develop a mobile learning based on learning application in basis education courses for institute teacher education or LPTK in Indonesia. Let me share about our research. Okay. Can the audience see my research, my presentation?
Yes, could you please make it full screen, sir?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
This is our consortium team from UNNES, of course, UNIMED, UNESA, UNDIKSA, UNIMA, and Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Our team leader, Prof. Wahyu, and me as the member, and Farid Ahmadi, Mr. Farid Ahmadi PhD, Dr. Imade Sagwarta from UNDIKSA, Dr. Hermawan from UNIMED, Dr. Andi Kristanto from UNESA, and Dr. Iwan Sugiarto from UNJ. Okay. This is our research background. Why we choose to develop this mobile learning? Because in the future, the source of all national development begins with creating an effective technology from IT, of course. And we have a knowledge development. So, in the basic of the e-learning, we have already see in the LPTK Indonesia, maybe approximately maybe 400 and more LPTK Indonesia, they are using all the same system by using website or LMS based. For that, we create a learning video that can be a substitute for lecturers and can help the student learning process anywhere and anytime. Because the importance of information technology-based learning innovation is to face this 21st century skills challenge. So this is our research background from our team. We develop these research methods. We're using maybe some of the research already know, if they know about software development. This is a software development methods that's commonly named as System Development Lifecycle, or SDLC. We've been doing planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing and integration, using TAM or technological acceptance models, and also mixed methods and maintenance. This is the step that we create for the product. The requirement gathering that we use, it's very unique, maybe, because we collaboration with different university, LPTK, UNNES, our core for gathering our data in UNNES. We need to user needs analysis and study. We're doing some research meeting, maybe 3 times or 4 times, perhaps. before we get this conclusion, it is necessary to choose the right mobile learning development platform so that it can be compatible and implemented learning in LPTKs. We know that the different LPTKs may be using different technology by using their different platform, different specs. Now we must think how to create application or learning based on one compatible that can use for every devices. Now, the content is provided expected to cover all aspects of learning outcomes, learning objective, course, and are adjusted to the semester learning plans in each LPTK. So we need to make a linear about synergy about our product, our program with the semester learning plans in each LPTK. That's something we find it hard to do, but we try to do our best. And it provides interesting feature from the multimedia side and must accommodate the creativity and activeness of system user. From the technology language, we need to create an IT product, and also we need to create a mobile learning product for education. To make this, we're doing some research and also taking our source from a few programmers. Now, this application design, same as our title, that we use a mobile learning. Mobile learning means that we can access the application in our mobile phones that we use every day. Now we need to create this design of the application. Design of the application is everything is based on content management server that hosting in one place that can be accessed through API server and CDN storage. To do a login, we need to Firebase security application security to notification, activity, notification, and push. The endpoint clients that we use are using Android OS and also using iOS. But for till today, we use using Android operating system more, because when we see in our research, there's so many students that use Android phones then using iOS. Especially in Manado, in maybe 50 students, the only one that using iOS. We are designing this is to can be integrated with 4Lab or sister in database in Minister of Education, because from this 4Lab or sister database, this can be generated well and can be accessed throughout the LPTK that we're using our system. And after that, we can see after we creating our architectural from IT point of view, now we are making design stage of learning videos. And it's also not easy to create some videos that need video that have limited of time and limited of source to upload into system. So student can access it through the internet without any problem. Okay, because sometimes when you're streaming in the high definition video, we can get Indonesia, we can get blurry, or we can get something like buffering too much. Now, step one is we're preparing of RPS and course material and a storyboard, because we need to planning how these materials from the beginning till the end. And also in step 3, we are using video recording and editing units, models or teachers to say material course or courses in order to student have a reaction or student maybe will understand more if we see it on audio and visuals. Our products have a judgment expert by media expert, have a judgment by media expert, expert judgment by review, and also a review by the lecturer itself. So our product, before we upload it into our systems, it's actually have well-prepared materials. Okay, this is our product. We created this maybe 2 years by our consortium team with a programmer team from UNNES, of course, because UNNES has provided us with many sources that we cannot provide it in our LPTK or in my personal opinion in my university, in Manado State University. So we get help from UNNES. Of course, this mobile learning for MKDK, basic source of teacher learning, and this is we can see this is an icon for mobile apps or Android apps. You can see this is application is first version of 2.0 because we have make it better upgrading from the first version till now of 2.0. This is a login, registration, and so on. Maybe this is basis the same for mobile learning in the common, but our design is will being tested, will being prepared, and also has been tested in the more than 4 LPTKs. This is our guidance book. This is our learning videos that we created from also helping from UNNES, and this is our trademark journals. This is the response from university LPTK Medan. We're using course from material psikologi pendidikan or education psychology and manajemen sekolah atau school management or school management, counseling and guidance, and education science. So this is our product that has been testing. And it gained good results from the point of view of our testing in system. Our network is using maybe using in our server spec is Intel RX Xeon R 16 core and operating system Debian Linux 10 for our server. The network is normal. We can handle maybe 1,000 user plus, and also the server resource performance is CPU usage not more than 20%, bandwidth using 1.5 Mbps, and also using memory a little bit higher because this is a server that using mobile phones, up to 18%. And also this is our tutorial, how to install, how to use application and management and content. Okay, this is our example of our contents in our systems. Okay, thank you. In order to for the adding our documentation is the project that we have shared together. Five lecturer and more have conduct the test from Medan to Manado. This is our result, quite fun actually, but sometimes we have need to have feedback from the students and the lecturer, and also as a researcher. Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much, Dr. Mario. I think you have a very fantastic output of research and then very interesting topic to discuss about the mobile technology in learning environment. And then probably now we are facing the hybrid technology in the higher education. So I think I'm going to dig deeper, ask you a question about it. But now it's time for Q&A session. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, so please type your question, or maybe you can use the chat feature in the Zoom. So I'm going to address it to the respected speaker. So my first question to each and every one of you, Professor Nurul, Dr. Tition, and Dr. Mario. So what is the most challenging process or stage when we are doing collaboration between two institutions through this matching grant scheme? Maybe starting from Professor Nurul, please.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I think one of the challenge is time, because for example, in Malaysia now is at 4, but in Indonesia is at 3. So we have difference in 1 hour. So it means that when our researcher plan to have their collaboration discussion, they need to find a very suitable time that suit them, although between 1 hour. Second is that I think the collaboration is where we as RMC will introduce for UITM and UNNES, for example. So the challenge is that they both researcher from UITM and from UNNES need to have really good communications discussion, because during the discussions we at RMC level we just can advise, but to make sure that this researcher have a very good length of communication, I think it is a challenge. But Alhamdulillah, I think our UITM and UNNES so far we don't have much communication barrier. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, we just introduced them, and Alhamdulillah they actually manage to suit with one another with their research expert and communication. That is my opinion.
Thank you, Professor Nurul. What about you, Dr. Tition? Do you have additional comment related to what is the most challenging stage facing by you, in particular from Thailand perspective or from Indonesian perspective? Please.
Sorry.
Dr. Tition?
I think the more challenging for the working to do the collaboration research project, I think it's hard to find a topic that fit with you and fit with us and to apply for the grant. And because if we do the collaborative research, it means we need to collect the data from Thailand and from Indonesia, or Thailand with the Malaysia or Taiwan. I think people from two different countries, different culture, even the different language, different belief, it's hard to find we need to very, very carefully to find the middle, and then we can do work, and it's work for everyone and make everyone happy. That is a very challenging. And another challenge is from my perspective. I think language is not a problem anymore for me. But the only thing that the challenge is that because since we are Asian culture, we very considerate. We very hard to say that, oh, you know, like because our culture, we respect other, or we respect other. We hate to say we disagree, or sometimes in our heart is we wanna disagree or something. I think I agree with Tunadun is that the good communication and make it clear is a second challenge for working with the people from other culture or other country. That is my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dition. What about you, Dr. Mario? Even though you are in Indonesia,
from my perspective, every research is have a challenge for its own challenge. I think our big challenge is when we using our application in the point of view of technology, we must make it same platform, same application that can be used by students that have a different spec of mobile phones. It's very challenging for us because in the aspect of researcher, we have a great team. We have a good researcher, I think. My team leader and my member in my team is very competitive in their skills. It's very good. But when we're creating the specs of technology, spec of operating system or Android application that can be used by every students that have a different level of specs of mobile phones. Maybe they use version 1, version 2, or version 3. We cannot make it. They cannot prepare one spec of mobile phones because they use it daily. So this is the challenge for us to create application can be used for every operating system mobile phones in students. That's our challenge, I think.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mario. I think we have a question from Pak Angga. So specifically to Dr. Dition. Yeah, what is the obstacle and how to overcome in terms of the cross-country research? And maybe you can also elaborate more from student perception, especially from Indonesian students, because I'm very interested in that domain, in that area. So are they excited enough, to do this kind of research in terms of the sample of research or something like that? Please.
Okay. According to your question, as I say, like what is the challenge or the problem is that to find a topic that fit with us. And when we work with from my personal, when I work with the people from other country, how can I overcome the problem? I try to make a friend with them. I try to make the environment to be a friend. So like a friend talking, not like an academic talking. So it can reduce the barrier or the feeling of I consider it or something like that. So I made the environment like we are friends and we can talk everything. And I always try to understand other people. And always try to understand other people is mean I want to let them know that you can talk to me in any topic. We are friends, and in the official time we are academic partner, and so we can be a friend. We can hang out. We can talk other things like beside the topic. That is how I overcome all the problem. In everything, when I work, when I teach, when I have a co-teaching, when I have a co-research, when I also teach the international students sometimes, and I try to make them know that you can talk to me anything even official or unofficial. And also for our research, the perception from the Indonesia, I read the paper. I think almost not since we are on the process of the asking the approval, but the overall result that I observe for myself, I think the perception of the blended learning in Thailand or the technology exception in Thailand. Youngest learner accept technology more than the owner. As I think almost the same is everywhere. And the most problem generation that, and I think the problem of the learning through the technology right now is the age gap between the teacher and the student. Teacher, we have to understand that they grow up from the generation that not like an analog, like no technology. So that it's hard for them to transfer to the fully technology even after the COVID-19 right now. I found that many teachers in Thailand, many college professors in Thailand, they are graduated from like Harvard University, top 10 university. But when they switch to the online or use technology, they are like no at all. They can use the phone for themselves, but they cannot use the phone for learning. I think this is a perception, like they accept the technology for everyday living, but they not accept for the learning as much they are supposed to accept. That is the situation in Thailand. But after 2 years, I think we faced with the COVID-19 for almost 2 years. Sorry. We almost faced the COVID-19 for almost 2 years. I think this time we start getting better and better in Thailand right now. But we still have a problem. Everyone's still waiting for the face-to-face classroom, but I think more than a half of the teacher and the student, they are okay with the online right now.
Yeah.
And
so related student and teachers engagement, right, Dr. Titian?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like to share with you that blended learning gonna be another option for learning and teaching in undergrad and graduate student in Thailand. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have a question to Professor Nurul from Busanti, Miss Santi. So the question is it possible to do matching grant between faculty to university? For example, Faculty of Economics, UNNES, and UITM. So not university to university level, but faculty to university level. So what do you think about it, Professor Nurul?
Thank you so much for the question. Yes, of course. We actually have not just between university and university, but also faculty and also university. So we have experience with University Sharif Ali Brunei, in which that we only involve the faculty of business in this University Sharif Ali. And then we just match with our UC level, because in here in Malaysia, in UITM, we actually in our department not only involved with one faculty, we have so many faculties, but we can match between the faculty and also the UC level. It's okay. Thank you so much, and I would like to invite you, Doctor, to have research collaboration. And if you would like to have matching with our faculty in UITM, just let me know so that we can introduce faculty and faculty too. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Nurul, for your kind offer. So definitely I would like to follow up your offer. Thank you for the opportunity. So I think this is the final question to Dr. Mario, because your research focus on the mobile learning technology. So now we are facing the hybrid technology of an online learning environment. So what do you think about it? Is it going to be your future research in the future, or what is your thought about it?
Actually, our mobile learning technology is can be collaboration with the hybrid learning, because hybrid learning is not the distant future. It can be reached by our system. So we can collaborate with mobile learning and hybrid learning together. In our research, we have 3 years of research, and now this is second years. So we still have maybe 1 year to conduct what can we add to our application, our mobile learning. So I think it can be reached to such a level of hybrid learning, maybe in a different technology. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mario. So, unfortunately, the time is running out. Once again, thank you so much for incredible speakers, Professor Nurul, Dr. Dition, and Dr. Maria. Thank you very much for your time, your valuable insight, and also your contribution to this Research Networking Forum. We are here from UNNES, Research and Community Service Center, would like to give you a token of appreciation, certificate of speaker virtually. So please. While waiting the certificates, so ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a big round of applause to the incredible speakers for today's event. Professor Nurul from UITM Malaysia, Dr. Mario from Universitas Negeri Manado, and also Dr. Dition from Kenstar University, Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you once again. And also thank you very much for all participants here in Borobudur Room and also virtual. Thank you and see you in the next year event, Research Networking Forum. I am Sandi Arif as your moderator for today. Would like to say goodbye and back to the Master of Ceremony, Ms. Intan. Thank you.
Well, back again. Thank you, Mr. Sandi. Thank you for all speakers for very fruitful discussion. And we hope that this forum will build a network of partners and also encourage researchers on matching grants on research between UNNES, also partners institution. Ladies and gentlemen, we also look forward for all speakers to welcoming you at UNNES in the future. And we would like also to thank all for participants who still joining this forum till the end of this Research Networking Forum. I hope that this forum can give you insightful idea for your research collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of Research Networking Forum today and see you on the Research Networking Forum 2022. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.